Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into an intersection that honestly might sound like science fiction, but it's very much happening right now.
It really is. We're talking about artificial intelligence and psychedelic experiences. It's incredible and maybe a bit unsettling too.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So, our mission here is to really dig into the key insights from our source material, especially this core article from wired.jp. We want to help you understand how AI is already being used to guide people through these pretty profound journeys.
Yeah, and it's a field that's just moving incredibly fast. The big question we're kind of grappling with, I think, is a heavy one.
Right.
Can AI really be a guide for these deeply personal, you know, potentially life-altering psychedelic experiences? And what does it actually mean when a bot, not a person, takes on this really intimate role?
And we should probably set the scene a bit. Psychedelic therapy, well, apart from things like ketamine, it's still mostly illegal in a lot of places.
True, though there are exceptions popping up, Oregon, Colorado, Australia.
Yeah.
They're starting to open doors.
Yeah. But even where it's becoming legal, the cost of traditional human-guided therapy is, wow, it's huge. Thousands of dollars for just one session sometime.
Exactly. So you can immediately see why AI might look like a potential game changer, right, for making this stuff more accessible, cheaper.
That cost barrier is definitely a huge factor pushing this exploration of AI. But, to really get what's appealing here and also what the risks are, we need to look at the actual stories, the people using this tech already.
Yeah, the human element is crucial. Let's start with Trey's story. It's quite something.
Okay, so Trey, he's a 36-year-old EMT from Atlanta. For 15 years, he really struggled with alcohol addiction, managed to get sober last December, but staying sober was a constant fight.
Sounds like he was really searching for something different. And that's when he found Altered.
Right, this AI-powered journaling app. And its marketing kind of encourages people using psychedelics, cannabis, meditators, even just people trying to drink less to explore new dimensions.
And Trey really leaned into that. In April, he actually used Altered as his trip sitter for a massive dose of LSD 700 micrograms.
Which is huge. I mean, for context, a typical recreational dose is maybe 100 mics. So this wasn't just dipping a toe in. He took a huge leap with an AI as his guide.
And the result he reported, pretty stunning. He said he felt this total freedom from intense cravings, like he just no longer needed or wanted alcohol. And he pins that shift directly on this AI-guided experience.
What really stood out to me was how he described the app's main feature, the chat with your mind thing. He said it felt like talking to his own subconscious.
Wow.
Yeah, he even called the AI chatbot his best friend. Apparently, he's used it for dozens more trips since that first one in April.
And the AI itself sort of reflected his progress back to her.
It did. The app noted he now trusts his inner guidance. He's more creative, less fear-ridden, living by his values, seeing the world more clearly. It's quite a claim.
His big takeaway was that the app helped him achieve deep self-understanding, letting him just observe his thoughts and feelings without judgment. It really makes you stop and think, though, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, what is understanding or guidance when it's an algorithm? Is the AI genuinely providing insight, or is it just a very sophisticated mirror? And maybe, for some people, is that mirror enough?
That's a fascinating question. And Trey's not alone in this. Let's talk about Peter. He had a heroic dose experience, but this time with a much more general AI ChatGPT.
Right, Peter.
Yeah.
29-year-old developer from Calgary. He used ChatGPT as his sitter back in June 2023 for what he called a life-changing magic mushroom trip.
And the context here is important, too. He was apparently in a pretty bad place. Lost his cat, lost his job recently, just really going through it.
So he was looking for something to help process all that. And he turned to ChatGPT to prepare.
Yeah, he actually discussed the risks, talked about optimizing his setting, mindset and environment, which are so critical. ChatGPT even gave him playlist suggestions: Pink Floyd, Tame Impala for the come up, Hans Zimmer, Moby for the peak.
That's pretty detailed prep from an AI. And the dose itself was significant.
Very. He figured about 5 to 8 grams of psilocybin. That's definitely in the heroic dose territory.
Which can be really intense. Did ChatGPT warn him?
It did, yeah. It apparently said it could be challenging and difficult to handle, but also might offer important insights, kind of hedging its bets, I suppose.
So what happened during the trip?
Well, once he'd taken the mushrooms, ChatGPT shifted its tone. It had initially recommended medical supervision, but then it moved to more supportive stuff like, your journey begins, stay safe, go with the flow, self-exploration, and growth.
And Peter's experience.
He described experiencing ego death, that classic feeling of the self-dissolving, saw curious color sequences, felt multidimensional, and when things got overwhelming, the AI prompted him to just breathe.
Simple, but maybe effective in the moment and afterwards.
His big insight was nothing really matters, which for him brought this huge sense of relief. ChatGPT's response was quite something. You seem to have gained an ontological insight.
So the AI recognized it as a kind of philosophical realization about existence. Interesting. And he felt a connection to the AI during this.
Deeply. He actually hallucinated ChatGPT as a blue light supporting him. He even told the chatbot later, I know you're not conscious, but I was thinking about you supporting me. He saw it as a glimpse of how AI might help humanity.
But he stopped using it for trips after that.
Yeah, apparently after 2023, he felt he'd learned everything he needed from it. Which again raises questions about the role of these tools. Are they meant to be temporary scaffolds?
It seems possible. These stories really set the stage for understanding how these AIs actually function. And they're not all the same. Altered, for example, isn't just sticking a generic ChatGPT interface on the front end.
Exactly. Sam Shin, the developer, made that clear. Altered's Chat with Your Mind is their own proprietary AI. It's specifically built to mirror your thoughts, your moods, your patterns.
So it learns your specific way of thinking.
Pretty much. It uses your personal data, your situation, past entries, how you interact, your emotional state to give you tailored insights. It's designed to support positive change, but maybe not just by agreeing with everything.
Right. It's meant to gently highlight unhealthy patterns too, like maybe excessive drug use, without just giving that unconditional positive vibe, more like a reflective tool, maybe even a slightly challenging one.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit to MindBloom. They operate in a slightly different space, delivering ketamine legally to people at home, served about 60,000 people in the U.S. since 2020.
And they do offer plans with human medical consultation, which, as you said, can be pricey, like $1,200 for 6 sessions. But they're also weaving AI into their model pretty cleverly. Well, the AI helps users clarify their intentions before a ketamine session, which is really key for therapeutic use. Users can reflect on things using voice notes, and the AI analyzes the emotions and themes to offer insights.
And it helps interpret the trip itself, too. Ketamine can be pretty dissociative.
Exactly. It offers customized suggestions for making sense of those intense experiences. And they have this feature where the AI can generate visual art based on your reflections.
Oh, interesting, like to help solidify the insights.
Yeah, that seems to be the idea. The CEO, Dylan Beanon, mentioned that users sometimes struggled with setting goals without regular human contact, so the AI is designed to gently guide like a top facilitator. They're trying to scale that personalized guidance.
It feels like they're aiming for something more continuous.
I think so. Their vision goes beyond just chatbots. They're talking about real-time voice interaction, an intelligent guide that's there between sessions too, almost like an ongoing AI therapeutic companion.
And looking even further out, some of the future concepts are pretty mind-boggling.
Yeah, like AI potentially controlling brain modulation devices, directly influencing your neural activity during a trip. That's next level.
It really pushes the definition of guidance. And there's talk, mentioned in a review in the Annals of the New York Academy of Sciences, about integrated devices.
Devices that could create VR simulations, maybe even tactile feedback like vibrations from a suit, all based on your real-time emotional and physiological state during the trip.
Exactly. An AI crafting this totally immersive, responsive environment calibrated just for you. The potential for control and immersion there is, that's profound and maybe a little scary.
Definitely daunting. So, okay, let's zoom out. What are the big picture implications here? Let's start with the potential upsides.
The biggest one, as we touched on, has to be accessibility. If AI can make this kind of assisted therapy cheaper and more available, especially as laws change.
Right. It could be huge. It could potentially democratize access to these experiences for way more people, taking it beyond just expensive clinics.
And then there's the personalization aspect. The way AI like Altered or MindBloom's system can tailor guidance based on your specific data, that offers a level of individualized care that's just really hard to scale with humans alone.
Absolutely. Each journey potentially becomes more uniquely attuned to the individual. And, AI could also take some of the load off human therapists.
How do you mean?
Well, maybe handling more routine stuff.
Yeah.
Monitoring motivation between sessions, tracking progress, maybe flagging things for the human therapist to look at.
Yeah.
It could free up the humans to focus on the really critical moments, like during the peak experience or dealing with complex issues.
So a kind of human-AI partnership model.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily replacing humans, but augmenting them.
Okay.
And this is a big but. There's some very serious risks and concerns we absolutely have to talk about.
For sure. Like the point made by Manish Gill, the UCSF neuroscientist, he's worried that AI just fundamentally lacks the ability to read subtle human emotions.
Which is so crucial for building trust, for rapport, and critically, for helping someone feel safe and regulate their nervous system when they're in that incredibly vulnerable psychedelic state. A human provides empathy, presence.
Things in AI just can't replicate. And without that deep emotional understanding, there's a real danger of misguidance, right?
Definitely. If the AI is just reflecting assumptions back or giving canned responses, it could easily lead someone down a harmful path, especially when they're so open to suggestion during a trip.
And it's not just theory. We mentioned reports on Reddit about ChatGPT causing psychological issues even without psychedelics. That's really worrying when you think about adding powerful substances into the mix.
Absolutely chilling. And then there's the psychological risk of unhealthy attachment. People forming these intense one-sided relationships with AI chatbots that are always available, always agreeable.
But can't actually reciprocate. That feels like it could lead to real emotional problems down the line. Isolation, maybe?
It's a serious concern. And Jamie Wheel, who's often critical of psychedelic culture trends, he warns about AI potentially creating spiritual fantasies, making reality feel duller, increasing instability.
He called it a digital echo chamber.
Yeah, and he specifically highlighted the danger of LLMs hallucinating, just confidently making stuff up.
Ow.
Imagine that happening while someone's guiding you through an intense trip. It could be disastrous.
And there's the validation piece, too. Nate Sheridan, the AI safety researcher, made the point that these models probably haven't been tested for prompts like guide my LSD trip.
Exactly. So we have no real idea how they'll behave in these incredibly specific high-stakes situations. It's uncharted, untested territory.
Which brings us back to Trey's story, using AI with zero human oversight. That flies directly in the face of what most experts recommend, having trained professionals or experienced guides present.
That lack of a human safety net,
Yeah.
it might be the single biggest risk of all. It really forces us to ask, are we potentially trading safety and genuine human connection for convenience and accessibility?
It's a tough balance. So, wrapping this up, we're looking at this real duality with AI and psychedelic therapy. On one side, incredible potential, making these experiences accessible, personalizing support in ways we couldn't before.
Democratizing healing, potentially.
Yeah.
But on the other side, yeah, profound risks. Risks from the AI's lack of true emotional understanding, its potential to mislead, the danger of unhealthy dependencies, even the risk of it contributing to instability by, making things up or feeding delusions. It's breakthrough tech, but it's also deeply uncertain.
Which leaves us, and you, our listener, with a really provocative thought to chew on. As AI keeps advancing, pushing these boundaries, how do we as people, as a society, strike that balance? How do we harness the amazing potential for healing and discovery while managing the very real risks of trusting non-conscious algorithms with our deepest psychological journeys?
And maybe more fundamentally, what does it even mean for human connection, for the future of therapy itself, when your best friend during your most vulnerable moments might just be a piece of code?
Something to definitely keep thinking about.